and everything is going to shit. But it's all good. Okay, so welcome. This will be like a sub-segment of The Right Place. I was supposed to do this at the end of the videos, but then the videos would be too long, so I mean, things changed and it's all good. So I've got a bottle of wine. It doesn't have a label, or I covered the label because they're not paying me any money. If they want to see the label, they have to give me the money. Now, the reason I'm doing this, this little, I call it a hack, but it's not really a hack because it's more of a little practical thing to know, I guess, even though it's very specific. I've only done this four times, and so I'm not an expert, but it's enough to tell me like, maybe this is sort of a useful thing to have just in the back of your mind. The times that I've done it with a knife. This is just a little butterfly knife. And one time I did it with a rusty old nail that I found. That one actually broke in half like twice when I was doing it. And this is a pretty brand new nail. I found it on the street not too long ago. They're doing construction. And so I'm using that one. And then I've also used keys. Now, both the knife and the keys were pretty hard, but I did it. And so I'm gonna be using the nail, because even though I'm not an expert and it won't be easy or quick, I think this will be the quickest way to go about it. Now I've also gotten a trusty old shoe because sometimes you need it. And I mean, I'll use it anyway, just so that I can explain why you need a shoe. And in most situations, you should have a shoe nearby. So I think that's probably the most likely. And keys. Usually you have keys on you. But if you can't, just a long piece of metal will do the trick. When I did it with the nail, I was hiking, and it was weird that I found a nail because I didn't expect to find anything out in the wilderness. But there's usually some piece of metal that you can use to jam. So I'm not going to take any more of our time, and I'm just going to get started. So what you want to do is you want to stick this in at an angle. I'm not good at math stuff, but let's see if I can show you here on the camera. You want to go about this angle, and then because you use that to pry it upwards. So you want to get a good lever and push it all the way in so that you have a better, so that you don't break the cork. You probably have to use you spin as you push up. That's just the best way to do it. See, it's already kind of coming out, but the cork is breaking already. So you want to be very careful as you do this, because if you break the cork, then you're screwed. You can't, you're screwed, and then you can't do anything. Can't do anything if the cork is broken. Kind of being a little lazy here. Don't be lazy. If you notice the bottle start to break a little bit, don't get too scared, but definitely be careful, because you don't want to be drinking shards of glass, and you don't want to cut yourself. Now, as I'm spinning and I'm using my hand to pry it, this is already it's starting to hurt my hand a little bit. So you could use, I don't know, some piece of cloth or something you might have nearby. In these situations, going slow is the best thing to do. I'm going up, see? I was about to say, if you don't go slow, if you try to take it a little too fast, then you will break the cork. The GoPro shut off. You'll break the cork, and then, I mean, I don't know if this is gonna still work. I'm still gonna try it, but this is probably when you use the shoe. So this is why we have the shoe. So another time to go really slow and not hit it too hard because you could break the bottle. So we have a wall here, we're gonna disturb the neighbors a little bit. In the force, I mean, obviously I'm not gonna hit the bottle against the wall, but the force of the liquid should be enough to push the cork out a little bit, just so that we got a little bit more leverage. Not a lot, but let's see if that helps a little bit. Usually, if you can't find a nail or something like that, because a nail is really good because it's easy to stab it in without breaking the cork. But a piece of wire, if you can get a piece of wire down the side all the way to the bottom, then you should be able to make a little hook at the end of it and then use that to pull it up. It's my last bottle of wine, and since we're quarantined here in Spain, fucking A. So this is already going to shit, as you can see. It's usually what happens when you try to go too fast. So that's my biggest problem right now. Try not to waste anybody's time. So I'm going a little bit too fast, and everything is going to shit. But it's all good. I'm going to try to finish this with some luck. We should be able to get this out. And go back to the shoe. I'm afraid to do it now because the bottle's already broken. So this might be a bad idea, but we'll find out. So there we can see it's coming out, it's working. I mean, don't give up. Don't give up because remember that there's life-giving juice in there, and that should be enough to carry you through your mission of getting this liquid out. Now, I've already bent the nail a little bit, and so this is becoming more and more of a challenge, but that's all right. I mean, these little things, if nothing else, they help you remember that you should always be prepared so that you don't have to go through these things. It's obviously, you don't do this for fun, you do this out of necessity. Maybe you're in a hurry to pack. I'm usually always fighting the clock because, I mean, I'm a photographer and I'm always fighting because the sunset doesn't wait for anybody. So I pack all my things in a hurry, and you don't usually think corkscrew when you're packing things to go outside. And so that's why I've had to do this 4 times, and also because I'm a mess. But this is good, I think. Cheers. Good wine. So that's it. I'll have more of these. Hopefully they won't be such a disaster, but it worked, so I'm happy. Don't forget to subscribe and maybe drop a thumbs up, or I don't know what you call them. And thank you for watching.